Welcome back, everyone, to Never Points North. Today on the podcast, we have, as always,
Jackie.
And back by popular demand,
I'm gonna put up a
Tamar. Mike will not be joining us today. He'll be joining us in just a couple weeks. We are fresh off of Midsummer, and today we're going to talk about everything that was revealed for Knott's Scary Farm, a little bit about what was revealed for Universal, because we really want to wait for Mike to come back. Mike is really our Universal expert, so we will be waiting for him in a couple weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
But we are going to touch on it a little bit, and then our experience over at Midsummer, and your guys' experience, and we went to a couple panels as well that weren't the main ones. We went to two smaller ones. So, and we'll also be talking about Decayed Brigade.
Decayed Brigade.
Who always brings it. For those that we know on the team and our friends on the team, we are very proud of. They did an amazing job.
Absolutely.
So, without further ado, let's get to it.
Midsummer Scream.
Midsummer Scream.
You were a vendor for Cat Candles and Curiosities. Tell me how your weekend went.
Well, we all vended. Yeah, me and Jackie, we created that business together, and we had Tamar and Sonia joining us this weekend as our helpers, because if you've ever been to Midsummer Scream, it is the most crazy event, huge event that you could ever go to within the Halloween haunt community. For the haunt community, for the fans, this is it. This is the Comic-Con of haunt and Halloween.
Yeah.
And there were what would you say, like 30 to 50,000 people, I think, was the projected
There were a lot.
estimate. There were a lot of people.
There were a lot.
And so I want to give just special thanks and like kudos to the Midsummer Scream team, to all the white bats, everybody that was out there and had anything to do with organizing that event. David Marklin, Gary, Claire Dunlap, Rick West, all those guys, they keep on top. When you're a vendor, they will send you email keeping you updated constantly. If there's any changes, emails will go out the next day, if not in hours, if to let you know that something has changed. And so it is a very seamless experience for
I think
the vendor.
For how busy it is, it's easy.
Yeah. And I've never seen an event run so smoothly on the back end as I did, especially at that size, when smaller events sometimes have trouble keeping it together and staying organized. To see on the back end, coming in as a vendor to set everything up and their check-in process, the way they have everything set up, it was very seamless and easy, which was really nice, especially going into an event that size. On a vending perspective, for the first time, it was really cool.
Yeah. We showed up. We were loading it at 9 a.m. on Thursday.
I think that helped too.
It did. It was
being early helped.
Yeah, we were there. We didn't have to wait long to like pull into the docks. We were there a little earlier than we should have been, so that was on us.
It's fine.
You have that lineup. You go in, you check in. They give you everything that you need. If you have done your homework and turned everything early, you're not at that table a long time. You're there for maybe a minute.
Yeah. Then check-in was 30 seconds.
And everyone was incredibly kind, especially with knowing what they were going to have to deal with the entirety of the weekend. Like, everyone's attitude throughout the whole weekend that was working the event was really pleasant.
Well,
it was really cool.
If I may quote you from 2 months ago, come with your attitude adjusted accordingly.
Yep.
And they did.
They did.
Everyone,
it was very
I
cool.
would say, including guests, everyone at Midsummer was pretty damn nice.
Yeah, and when I said that originally, it was for guests coming to the event. Like, have your attitude in check, because the people who are working, and they don't have control over the big things. The people who put on the event do, but everyone seemed to be really, really good spirits for the entirety of the weekend, guests included. So everyone came with their attitudes at the proper level.
You put it out in the universe and it happened, so all is well. In terms of vending, though, this is our second go around, but this was our first time going as a expanded entity, I guess. Yeah. We had a bigger space. We had more people working for us.
We did.
We had more things to offer. So what was that like for you?
It was very stressful. It was very stressful for me, since I have most of the money invested in it, and I work, for those of you guys, I work a 40-hour job, like 40-hour work a week job, that brings in that money, and part of that money was used to expand and to like really open up a new world, and it was more for on your side, having to offer that, I don't want to say dark decor, but like a darker aesthetic tone of what we could offer at Feral Cat Candles, and we will be changing it to the signs of Feral Cat Candles and Curiosities in the future time. I just needed to recoup some of that money, but it
needed to work Midsummer first.
Yeah, it's stressful, and then I think by Sunday when I was like, okay, like we're doing this, we did really well. We had a really good spot on the show floor. Let
me tell you guys,
I couldn't be happier.
If you are planning or thinking about becoming a vendor at something like this, or if you want to run your own business, corner booths are worth their weight in gold.
If you can afford it.
If it is within your means, they are worth their weight in gold. The foot traffic alone and being at a crossroads where a lot of people can be without being in the way is just really nice.
You know, I think overall I was very happy at the end with how everything went.
Yeah, we did okay. And if I can say it again for the 1,000th time, thank you for your guys' help.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I absolutely 100% could not have done it.
It would not have been
without the other two.
Anywhere remotely as successful as it was without you guys helping. So
anytime.
Thanks,
It was
buddies.
our pleasure. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of work too.
It was, but it's an incredibly stressful situation to be in for you guys as the people who own it. You have your money and your time invested in it the most. We're there to alleviate any weight that we can on your behalf, not only because we're your friends and we want to be able to help, but obviously we want to support you guys in what you're doing. So whatever we can do to make it less stressful, that was the whole point. So if we were able to do that even a fraction for this weekend, then it was worth it to be able to take some stress off or have you guys have a peace of mind that you don't have to be in 50 places at once by yourselves.
You know, it's just really nice to be able to go to the bathroom when you need to go to the bathroom, or be able to sit down and like eat for a second and have someone else be able to step in, take care of 5 or 10 people, and then you can step back in and do what you were doing. That, it's just nice to have some of your very basic needs be able to be taken care of and not have to stress out about anything.
Right.
And not have like a face full of Cheez-Its or Milanos trying to talk to someone that's like, hey, what's this candle scent? And you're like, fucking goddamn it, shit. And you just spit everything out and then keep talking.
Have a conversation, yeah.
And a lot of vendors who come by themselves, not at Midsummer, but, you know, we have done it by ourselves. You do not get to go to the bathroom.
Or eat.
Or do anything, you know, if you can. I mean, obviously, if you had to go to the bathroom, you could run. But then you've left your booth unattended, and that's something that is not advisable, especially at Midsummer. Smaller venues, you can kind of have somebody like just look over, maybe your neighbor that's there, but at Midsummer, it is not an option.
And you know what, for the work that you guys put in and the time that you guys put in and how hard you work for it, those moments where having Sonia and I there this weekend to be able to stay at the booth with Jackie while you were able to go and get an autograph that you really wanted by someone that probably won't be at another convention that we're going to be at anytime soon, to me is worth us being there 100 times over, just to be able to give you that, because that moment is fun. And for how hard you guys work, you should be able to have those moments at events like this where you can remove yourself from the booth and go and do that one thing that you were looking forward to doing.
And of course, so what they're talking about, I went to go see Harvey Gillian. They allowed me to go see him. I was like huge fan. I got the Guillermo pop doll, and I literally put it in front of him, and I was like, if I could have gotten a Harvey Gillian pop doll, I would have. That's how much of a big a fan of just the person that he is that I am. It just happens that he is on one of my favorite shows as well. And from that show is when I started to like follow him on Instagram and like see like the different things that he does and like and whatnot. But I was able to do that, and I was still stressing out because I waited like a half hour, and I was all like, oh man, if this is gonna be an hour, I'm leaving, because I didn't want to leave you guys at the booth. Like this is like, I felt like this was very selfish of me to like want this and go do this, and I was just like, oh, I don't want to take up like too much time.
Yeah, no, we would have been like, if you don't come back with a signature, you're not coming back at all. You can go sleep in the car. Get out.
That's not your business anymore. A hostile takeover just happened.
Get out.
I know.
We know your phone password. Goodbye.
But yeah, so I'm like looking at it right now. Like I'm so jazzed that I got that. And Doug Jones, I'm coming for you next when I can get to him. Next Monster Palooza probably is where he'll be. So, but that'll be it because those are like the 3 people right there. The other one,
yeah, you wouldn't leave your booth at Season Screaming. So Sonia and I were like, nope, happy birthday to you on that one. But
I know
outside of that, you know, you should be able to have those moments. If you're working this hard for something, it's one moment out of an entire weekend and all the time and effort that you put into it, then you deserve it. So that alone is worth everything to be able to help you guys out.
And yes, I got them personalized because I was like, those are for me. I'm not selling those.
Nah.
I'm not getting money off of them. Burn me with them when I die. Okay, like
right.
I was like, it says.
What effects do you want with her?
Guillermo.
My Guillermo.
E.T.
my Elliot pop doll,
Elliot.
my Guillermo pop doll, and my Billy Butcherson pop doll, please.
Elliot.
And I'll throw King Kong in there too.
And King Kong. Yeah, no. Oh my gosh. But yes, overall, guys, thank you.
Yeah, seriously. Like,
I will never be able to put into words how much it meant for me that the 2 of you were there to help us that weekend. I will not. I'm bad at words. I don't word good.
I don't word good.
I just show it in actions by buying you food. Hopefully stuff
You
that
do.
doesn't poison you.
You know what? That was my fault. That's what I chose to get. So that was my bad. I said, be healthy for breakfast. Healthy breakfast said, yeet. A couple of hours later.
We're having cake. We're eating cake from now on. Ladies and gentlemen.
You know what?
Please.
At least it was at the end of the weekend. And it wasn't,
It was the last,
you know, the first 2 days. It was like the last 3 hours of the event. My body said, shut down.
So, yes, seriously, thank you guys.
No, you're welcome.
It would not have been anywhere as successful as it was, and it relieved so much stress to just have you guys there.
Good.
So,
I'm glad. Anytime.
we trust you with our business, and
We had a blast. It was a lot of fun to be able to do that with you guys.
Plus, it's just fun to like.
It's so
It's
fun.
fun to go and just like, man, if you can like get in on somebody's business and just go work for them and like get into the conventions.
Honestly,
it's just amazing.
we walked. I think we all took maybe like half a stroll around the convention, like properly, on Friday. And we went and got lemonade once, and then we went to the panels, so it got us like in little bits and pieces of the convention center. But even that, just as much as I joke around, and I'm super sarcastic if you follow me on my personal Instagram, about hating people and not being a people person, which I 100% am, not a people person. I love interacting with people. It's a very complicated tightrope, you know? So it's a lot of fun
We even got to go to the show.
to engage. Yeah, dude, Decayed Brigade was...
She got a front seating. They were like, hey,
Lit.
wait, who pulled us over?
Winger.
Winger did. Pulled us over. He's all like, hey, do you want front row seating? And then it was like this one spot, and I was all like, I'm not going to fit here. We're both not going to fit here. I was all like, Tamar, sit down. I was like, you sit down in the front. She's like, no. And I was all like, dude, I can't even be this close anyways because my camera lens, I'll be like right there. So I was like, I just went to the back side area where we were, but it was great. It was fine.
It was awesome. Yeah.
She got some shots from the front with her phone, and I was
nice.
like in the thing. So it was really, really good.
So you guys
yeah.
went to Sunday's first show, correct?
Yes.
How was
Yes.
that? Tell me about it.
I would agree the first show was like amped. Like if you were a fan of Decayed, so they had 4 I want to say like fog shoot boxes, but not fog machines, guys.
Like CO2
They're like CO2 like up fog.
They had those.
And like yeah, and so when they came out, like I didn't realize where they were because it was dark.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the music just started. Those fog shoots went up, and they were just there.
Yeah.
Like in their spaces, and you're just like instantly hyped. Like 10, like you went from 0 to 100 in like a millisecond. So it was instantly set the tone for how the show was, and it moved really quick.
Yeah. And everyone's energy throughout the show, like the actual performers, was really freaking awesome. Everyone got to watch them do stuff that I haven't personally seen the group do before. So they're working, they're constantly trying to evolve the show, they're constantly trying to top what they did previous years. And it's really cool to watch, especially having, you know, worked as a scare actor alongside some of these people when they first came in, and we all started from the very, very bottom, and watching them progress into what they're doing now outside of that particular realm is really cool, and I'm really proud of them. Like, they're kicking ass.
Yeah, it was sick. It was sick. And you just, you know, in the slider community, they're superstars.
They are, but I think as even athletes, they should be recognized for
Absolutely.
how difficult. I would say almost anyone can slide, but not a lot of people can do what
The tricks.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
And they are wrecking their bodies.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's hurting them now or not, somewhere down the line, just like any athlete, their bodies are going to feel it in a couple of years, whether it's 10, 5, 15 years from now. Your knees are going to, they're taking a beating, and they're like no holds bar. They're not babying their bodies when they do it. They're hitting the ground like with everything they've got. It's insane.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Yeah.
You can just, you know, and you're just like, ooh, man. But yeah, I mean, like you said, anybody can slide, but it takes a special athlete that has worked and practiced to
Stamina, dude.
slide well.
Yeah.
And like
cardio fitness, you have to be able to do all 3 shows for the amount of time, because they're sprinting. When you slide, you're sprinting.
Right.
You're not going on a light jog and then you hit the ground.
And
come
it's
back up.
short burst sprinting into a slide to get up, to run back to where you need to be to do it again. And like the first show, I think, was at 1 o'clock. The second show was at 2:30. And then the third show was at 4. So realistically, that time in between is not a whole lot of time for them to not be physically exhausted. So they're doing it 3 times a day. And the show is different, right?
each show is different.
Each show is different. So, yeah, we got the first show, which we were told by multiple guests was the best show to go and see. But, like,
Even by the sliders.
Even by the sliders. That was their favorite. But, like, what are you doing in the other 2 shows that we didn't see that you have to maintain a different kind of stamina and physical
The
longevity?
last show they always do
They
distance.
always do
do
distance jumps.
See,
So
and
you've done all 3 shows, and now you're trying to break records.
Yeah, it's insane.
And they do.
Wild, dude.
And
they do.
That's
I
the
think,
thing.
honestly, think Trey and I think Elijah are the ones, like, they have jumped, I think Trey's jumped like 12, 13 people.
Dude, Trey's
Elijah as well. Who else?
His name's not Cricket. What is his name?
James?
James, yeah. He's
Oh,
done a
James?
huge jump before,
Yeah,
too.
James probably can do 12, 13 tops. Like,
James flies.
beyond.
They're insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild.
And again, you're doing that after you've done all your shows and you've given... You're gassed out, and then now you're jumping 9, 10, 11, 12 people.
Yep.
Yeah. It's insane.
And
I don't know if
they're
they did
walking
it.
around the convention floor between shows. So it's not like they're sitting down in the back doing nothing. Like, they never stopped moving throughout the day. It's crazy.
So, here's my thing. Sliding doesn't have to be your thing. It doesn't have to be your scare tactic if you're a scare actor. But when you see what these guys and girls can do with their bodies as performers and as athletes, it is incredible.
You have to respect it. Whether it's your cup of tea or not, there should be some respect being tossed their way because they work really hard.
And I'm going to tell you, that floor is fast.
Yeah.
So if you guys have ever slid, if you guys are sliders at Not Scary Farm or any other thing, sliding on that floor is fast.
It's like ice.
It's like being on ice. Sliding at Not Scary Farm is not like that. There are points where you can't even slide. Your paddle hit and it just
The ground bites you.
and it'll bite.
it'll
It'll
bite your
bite
pad.
in. So when you guys see us sliding out there, like, no, it's just as hard. It's just
because you're working with organic.
and you're not gonna see those tricks like you do at Midsummer.
Right.
So if you want to see like the height of sliding and like what is really capable of these athletes doing, go to Midsummer. If you want to see how like just like the general, I know she's walking around just chilling.
No more notes for you, doggy.
You just want to see that general gritty slide like a monster. It's going to be at Not Scary Farm.
Go to your theme parks.
Yeah.
If you want to see what the human body is capable of, go to Midsummer and watch Decayed.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about the panel that you were able to go to with Sonia, and that was the
Accessibility
in horror.
community.
Yeah, which was the panel was Pasta, Monica, and Kaylin.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
I thought it was really cool. I personally have never seen a panel like that take place at any of these events within the horror community, so I thought having a panel like that... Midsummer had 2 panels, in my opinion, that I think reigned supreme this year because it was something that hadn't been done. The second one we will be talking about later on. So they kind of have hit ahead of the curve, which someone else said in one of the panels, that they hit important things that are not discussed often. Monica, who was a scare actor at Dark Harbor, which was really awesome to see because I vaguely remember seeing her when I would go. You would never know that she is hearing impaired. And listening from her point of view on what she had to say about everything and how the inclusion is still incredibly lacking even in 2023 or 2021 and forward is kind of crazy, because you would think with everything else that's progressing and things that people are fighting for on a social level of what should be acceptable and what is no longer acceptable, that would be one of the things that's at the forefront, and it doesn't seem like it is. And then Kaylin was on the panel, and she has a lot to do, from what I remember, and I could be mistaken, but like with closed captioning and stuff like that, she's in that industry, and how they have to make sure that everything... Stranger Things was one of the things that she brought up. She goes, when you look at, if you have the closed captioning on when you're watching the show, that is where we reign supreme, where everything has to be described in a way for someone who is hearing impaired to be able to retain everything that a hearing person can. So everything has to be so descriptive to the point where you are getting the same experience as anybody else. Or if you're blind and you have to have the auditory, the way that they vet their voiceover people, they have a specific list for people that do comedy and romance and then horror, and then some people who do all of it, but they prefer one over the other. Like, they vet and they have a specific list of people that they use and that they are their go-to people. And it's really cool to see the inner workings of stuff like that while they were talking about it. Pasta's second language is ASL. I know she's incredibly passionate about it. She has been since I met her. So I think for her to have been on that panel in the first place was really important to her. And then being able to be in the position that she's in at Knott's and be an advocate for accessibility is huge, because she is so closely knit with the community, as it is her second language. So I think it brought a different perspective and dynamic to the fact that we've come a long way, but there's still a long way to go with stuff like that.
And it's possible.
It's absolutely possible.
It's not an inconvenience to anybody to be able to make it accessible for everybody.
Right, and that was actually one of the questions that someone asked, how I work in an industry where there's always pushback when you ask someone to just do that little bit of thing to make it a little more inclusive, where it becomes the issue of, well, that's just more work. And everyone on the panel was like, it's not more work if you integrate it into the workflow. It's just a part of the work. It's not more work. It just is. And I think that's where people get held up on semantics, where it's like, oh, it's more work. It's really not. It's going to take you less than 5 minutes to do it. You're just being lazy. Are you getting paid for it? Like, if you really want to look at it that way, are you still getting paid to do it? Is this your job? Then just fucking do it and get it done. It's really not that hard to be inclusive. People just want to fight back because they can and they want to, and it's not what they do every day. So you're being asked to do one more thing, and sometimes being lazy reigns supreme. I think it's a good thing. I think Knott's does their best to keep up with everything to the best of their capability, and I think that's awesome, because I know we have hearing impaired scare actors out. Mm-hmm. I know one of which is in Carnival.
Every time
I
she's out there
pieces.
Helping translate.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
I think that's actually one of the first times I met her. She was sitting there translating for someone. I went, oh shit.
Like, if you know Pasta in your personal life, and she's sitting there doing something, if a song comes on or a movie is on or someone is having a conversation around her, 9 times out of 10, if you pay attention to her hands, she's signing. Her hand is moving and she's signing along to whatever is going on around her. It is so a part of her and ingrained in her. It's kind of funny. Like, sometimes we'll all start giggling because I'm like, Yeah. She's just sitting there signing, or anytime there's a movie that we watch that I know she's seen and I'm like, was the sign language, like, correct in the film where the actors were signing? And she goes, absolutely not.
Like The Last of Us.
Like The Last of Us. Or, like, there were a couple of movies, I forgot what they were, but we had a full-length conversation where she was like, it is absolutely incorrect. Half of what the subtitles said are not what they were signing, which is part of the problem. Like, I want to know why they don't have hearing impaired people that come in and double check the work. You're providing extra jobs. You're making sure it's correct. So you're representing a community in the proper light, not just kind of half-assing your way through it and putting sign language in because the character is hearing impaired or whatever the situation may be. But, like, follow through. If you're going to do it to the fullest ability. Mm-hmm. Make sure it's right.
I think that might change, like, the deeper we do get into being more inclusive and more accommodating to everyone, where they're going to have to start double checking their work.
I agree, yeah.
Because it's going to become a problem.
Right.
You know, people are now finding a voice when in the past they didn't.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So that's the panel that you and Sonia went to on
Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And then Sunday, both of you went to the
Her Voice.
Her voice in the haunt community?
Yeah, which was the secondary panel that was like a first, I think.
I was stuck behind the booth all 3 days. So why don't you guys talk about it? I'm not complaining. I promise.
You're going next year.
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
I'm staying at the booth.
No. We have to kick you out.
No,
Yeah.
we don't.
It's mandatory.
We do.
We
We
have to kick
don't.
out.
You need a break and
I
a
don't
breather.
need a break. I'll sleep when I'm dead.
That has nothing to do with it, ma'am.
Ma'am. It was a really good panel. It was the first
panel of its kind with it all female and elevating women in the industry.
It was organized. That's the word I'm looking for.
There you go.
Them chickens were organized.
They're organized. It was organized by Tricks the Trickster. I did not know that. I was looking at some cards and I was all like, it's a big picture, but why doesn't everybody else have a big picture? Because it was organized by her. Good boy. Okay. So of course she would have her picture like the biggest on there. I would too. So yeah, organized by Tricks the Trickster, and it was just her bringing together strong females in the haunt community. And them talking about their stories and going through how they got from point A basically to where they are now. It was very interesting. How did you feel?
I liked it. I thought it was really cool to see. I think they had an array of women on the panel. Like, I know they had Mary Imagination, who does more of like the vlogging and the writing. She's done scare acting. Mm-hmm. So they had that niche covered. They had Lucy, and Lucy came on behalf of Deadly Sweets, and Chelsea was at the booth, which is her fiance. So she stayed at the booth running it. So they had a small business owner. They had Pasta, who's been in the industry for 20 years, who has done scare acting and is now on the production and management side of everything. And then you had Tricks the Trickster, who is also an entrepreneur, but basically paved her way and did her own firsts within the haunt community. Like, she was the first female slider at Six Flags, paid slider that they had. So she's kind of paved her own way. So they had women from kind of multiple backgrounds and work.
It was all over the spectrum.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was from basically, I mean, they're all entrepreneurs in their own way.
They are.
You know, whether you start in one area and then you go to corporate, like Pasta has done. But that's still within a corporate confinement of things. You do have rules, but you can still make a mark. You can still innovate within that industry,
right?
To head in a certain way, and have that voice. And something that she said, and something that actually Star, the one that was mediating it, had said was like, take up space. You know, pull up your own chair.
Yep, in a room that you're not welcome in.
Even if you're not welcome in it. Like, let people know that you're there and have your voice heard. Mm-hmm. And I think that as much as women have moved up in this timeline of where we are in this world, we are still hitting glass ceilings at certain points, and those do need to be shattered. because whamming. Because let's just face it, we have the mental fortitude.
We do.
For it.
And there it is, folks.
Yeah.
We do. It was really cool to watch, especially I had been staring at the Deadly Sweets booth the whole weekend.
You did. They were right across from us.
They were catty corner.
Yeah, catty corner right across.
And I was staring. Their setup is very aesthetically pleasing. It is very eye-catching. They have an entire backdrop that says "R.I.P. my diet," which you're speaking my language because that's fucking hysterical. That they sell things that are absolutely nowhere. They sell shirts that say it too.
Yeah, because she went up to buy the stuff.
I did,
right there.
and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I had been staring at their booth the whole weekend, going, "I want to go buy something," because A, small businesses and supporting them forever. And B, because I was like, that's so cute and creative, and it's probably like spoopy treats, and I love that. After that panel, I was like, I am absolutely going to go and give them my money. Because I did. Mm-hmm. I bought 3 different s'mores. How was the chocolate one?
It was divine.
We haven't eaten the other 2 yet.
I'm going to say this. I have eaten a lot of treats. And because the way they were packaged, I was all like, is this going to taste plasticky and kind of fake or processed or something? And it didn't.
You said that.
It did. Yeah. This first thing I said, because I was all like, is it gonna taste processed? It did not taste processed. It was really good. The only mistake that I made was I stuck my hand in the bag and then all the marshmallow came out on my fingers and I was still trying to sell stuff. So I was all like, I made a mistake.
An error was made.
Because it was really, really like, soft and it wasn't hard. Like, you know how like some processed marshmallows are like
fresh.
Pink? It was fresh.
I love that.
It was good. I was just so like, how'd they get it sealed though? Because I mean, they're under. I give props to the food sellers at conventions. They're under FDA rules.
Yep.
And they have to have that permit. So anything that, if you get sick off of one of their products because you consumed it, like, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. So for me, that is a very risky business to go into, of selling things that are consumed.
Yep. So, I mean, I walked over to their booth and Chelsea was the one selling everything. And I was like, I just want you to know that, like, I've been staring. I told her the same thing. I've been staring at this booth all weekend, went to the panel, and I was like, I am absolutely throwing my money at you guys because your fiance did a phenomenal job. And just the whole story of how they got started is really cool. I think if you go to their Instagram, because I 100% stalked them after. Absolutely.
You should.
Went in and they have like in their highlight where it's, a little thing about the owners, and I think it might be in there of how they got everything started, which was like a lot of people during COVID, and they shot from like 0 to 60 within 2020 to 2023. They've been like skyrocket.
People like
I
food.
think that's phenomenal.
People like food.
People like
and
food.
They're very kind and they seem very humble, and when you don't let that instant fame, and I do that with quotation marks, or success get to your head and you stay the person you were before, I think that's one of the hardest things to do when you become successful. And the fact that they're so damn kind is a huge thing for me, and I'm like, I will forever give you my money.
Solid, dude. So yeah, Deadly Sweets, hit them up, guys. They do this full time. That is what they do. I'm not brave enough to do that yet. At all. I love money and I need a stable income. So that is a risk that they're taking, and they are getting big rewards from it. So good for them.
I'd like to piggyback off of something you said about how sticky your fingers got because it's real marshmallow. Mm-hmm. You put your hand into the bag and consumed said beautiful s'more treat.
It did.
With your sticky ass fingers.
Yeah.
And then gave it to me and did not warn me that it was real marshmallow.
Yeah.
And as I
do the same?
Shoved my hand in like a goddamn...
She did it worse.
Because...
Do you put like behind the bush into the bag?
I thought it was popcorn.
Oh.
So I went in dive bombing like a seagull.
Did you like that Dolby Digital surround sound?
Oh, yes.
We practiced that.
I dove in like a seagull going for that bag of Cheetos with my, literally like this, guys, like it was pointed. And I was like, yes, here we go. just goo.
Okay, so I'm gonna learn from both of you, and I'm not gonna do that when I open mine. But
No,
I'm
you
not
should.
gonna
You
tell
need
Sonia.
to enjoy.
But don't
tell Sonia.
Oh, but do better, because it actually says on the back of it, like, heat it up. Those bags are microwavable, I believe, or something.
Nice.
Well,
Okay.
read it.
I will.
But
'Cause
it
I'm
said
gonna be pissed if I melt it.
heat it up for, like, I think, like, 10... It tells you on there how much you should heat it
like
up
that.
so it gets warm again.
And then have her dive
And
on
then,
it.
no, because it's
I'm
going to be
gonna do
hot marshmallow.
Okay, look,
then.
I'm gonna do it to her today.
Yeah.
When she gets home from work, I'm gonna heat one up, and I'm gonna say, "Babe, try this,"
Try this popcorn.
and I will try and
Try
film
this
it.
popcorn. Try this popcorn.
She will. She will dive into it.
Same way.
Hook finger, just
with the finger. Does she have fingernails right now?
She does not. I know, because it would have gotten all under there.
Yeah.
But really quick to, like, keep touching on it, Merry Imagination is part of Knott's network and a couple of other things. So if you're looking for any of these people on Instagram, Merry Imagination, or Knott's network, she runs that too.
You know she's a published author?
I do. I saw that, actually. Yeah. She just started
crazy.
following me before Midsummer, and I was like, why do I know that? And I didn't have a chance to go to her profile, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
it's insane
Yeah.
how passionate she is about horror and books, and that she's actually a published author.
Yeah,
like,
she
it's
was
so
saying, like,
crazy.
her
Yeah.
favorite pastime is to read. That, like, she just reads. It's like her happy place. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to know how many books you read in a week, because I will probably be, like, the most fucking impressed person. I bet you it's more than 10.
Probably.
And I love that.
You're probably not wrong.
I think that's so cool. Deadly Sweets, their Instagram, and then Tricks the Trickster. Obviously, you'll know it when you see it. And then Pasta, as I think Miss Pasta still. Yes.
Yep. She's
All amazing women in the community. So if you are a horror person, those are all people you should be following and paying attention to their moves, because I think they're going to do more awesome stuff.
Yes. All right. What else is happening?
I don't know. I gotta pull up my phone. Hold
Oh
on.
my goodness. I think we could move
We're going to Knott.
to Not Scary Farm.
Okay, first things first. As of this recording, which is Monday, July 31st, it is currently almost 2:00 p.m., and those announcement tickets for August 24th have been sold out since 10:20 this morning. So about 20 minutes after they opened up tickets to be able to purchase it, it's gone.
It is gone.
Goodbye.
I mean, I think that's awesome.
Announcement event. Go.
Announcement event.
Say something.
It will be on August 24th. It's going to be 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And I'm trying to click on this image right now. Here we go. So it's going to be 7 to 10 p.m. It's basically going to be... What are we doing? It's going to be Maze and Entertainment Showcase. You'll have the rare Stop messing around, phone. You'll have the rare opportunity to meet and discuss spine-chilling creations with the masterminds behind this year's attractions, chat with the content experts, designers, and creative directors, and marvel at the artwork and designs that will bring your worst nightmares to life. They have 50 years of never-ending nightmares presentation. Like you said, it's going to be in the confines of the Birdcage Theater, and it will basically discover the sinister secrets and spine-tingling tales that have shaped Knott's Farm's legacy over 50 years. Now, so while you are doing a walkthrough, or while you are writing Ghost Rider or Pony Express, then you can go to the next one. They might, you know what I'm saying?
Like a separation in the...
So maybe they have one from
Like a
7
7
to 7 to
and
7 to
8 o'clock
30.
show.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like 8 to
so they
8:30.
would be presenting it like it's an actual show taking place during season. And give you
That's-
times.
I don't know.
That's just
That
what
would
I'm
be
wondering.
This is
I'm
all
not sure.
speculation because we honestly
We have
don't
no
know.
idea.
I have
we
no
don't
idea.
get told anything.
No.
You know nothing.
Jon Snow.
It's Monster Mayhem. Be prepared to encounter some of Ghost Town's most legendary monsters as you venture through the dimly lit streets, and keep an eye out for the newest frightful fiends lurking along the gold mine trail. Dress to die for. Head over to Town Hall, where the park's wardrobe department will showcase a chilling array of past and present costumes.
That's cool.
Thrills in Ghost Town, take a ride or two. So like we said, Ghost Rider and Pony Express is going to be open. The Legacy Store experience, that's going to be where the old Emporium is outside of the park, is going to be open for you guys to look at.
That is worth it alone.
The way that it looked inside, and when they were doing the panel and they had the artist renditions of what it looked like, looked
We'll talk
stunning.
about
It looked
more in a little bit,
amazing.
but go ahead.
If that thing looks anything like those artist renditions, even half of what those renditions look like, it's going to be really freaking cool.
Guys,
It's going to be awesome.
Stoked. I cannot, like, tell you. Like, we've been a monster. You've been a monster for years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 2006 on to whatever. You missed a couple years, but whatever.
2 years off.
Yeah. We've been a monster for, like, 6 going on 7. No. Yeah?
2017 till now.
Yeah. So, like, 6 years at this point. Like, stoked. Still a fan, guys.
Yep.
Still a fan. Still gets, like, my adrenaline going when I, like, just see all this stuff start coming out. Especially Not Scary Farm.
Yeah, I think that was a general consensus across the panel, too, was that if you're not a fan of the event, like, everyone is a fan first, including the people who are working, whether it's behind the scenes, forward. You're a fan first, and there's a reason that you love working the event and why you started working the event in the first place, and every year we're looking forward to what they're going to tell us they're doing as much as any of the fans do, because we are fans, too.
Yeah, like, first and foremost,
full stop.
Fans. And, you know, even if we hear things, because we've been in the industry, we know people, we don't get told anything. I think we get maybe 15%. It's like a little, like, well, did you hear this is going on?
Like, I don't know.
And you don't know, and we have no idea. I have no idea what those new mazes look like.
Yep. I'm just stoked.
Yeah, I'm stoked that they're going to be happening. I'm stoked that there's, you know, possibly going to be 3. But they're doing this whole event, which used to only be annual pass holders. We had to usually get an email sent to us as an annual pass holder. You had to go in and you had to, like, rifle through. And the first time they did it, with the first year I went, it wasn't as critical. People weren't going. And then all of a sudden, year after year after year, it just started picking up steam.
Well, they had opened up, like, the Into the Fog show. They had released merch. They started doing the Scary Farm Pass, which had opened up the second that they stopped doing the announcement event. So they have been putting a drive behind going. Yeah. And now we're here again. And it is open to it was open to the general public. You did not have to be an annual pass holder.
Yep, which I think is cool.
And it was only $20. $20 for an Andrew Jackson. You could get into this event and enjoy 2 rides and have all the hype. It sold out in 20 minutes. I have tickets. Am I going to? I have tickets. And she's all like, I think we got the last tickets. I got 2 tickets, just in case. I don't know.
It was one of the, we were literally on the freeway, and I was like, oh shit, did you get those tickets? It was
10:16, and I said, oh my,
shit. So
I said,
I
am not kidding.
Sold out.
I am not kidding.
And I was like, oh my god, I didn't, I'm an idiot. It was right after
we got off the phone with you, and I was like, I need to get these right now. Went on there, did the whole thing, got them, and then went back to the Instagram, and it already said sold out.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It was stressful. So.
Good for you guys.
Thanks.
That's all I'm going to say about
We forgotted, and then I opened up Instagram. Thank you, Instagram, for pushing that algorithm going, hey, buy your ticket.
Do the thing. You've been around spooky all weekend.
So,
but,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Let's talk about it. Let's open this up, because this is the first year that Not Scary Farm has been back at Midsummer, and I think they came back insanely.
They came back swinging.
They came back swinging. Karl is a madman. If y'all were there, y'all know Karl.
Don't give that man.
If you don't know Karl,
if you don't give that man's merchandise your money, I'm gonna send his ass to your home so that you understand.
And there's probably gonna be like cockroaches
everywhere. First and foremost, before we really start digging into this, Michael, thank you for going out and filming these, because
definitely
we didn't have time behind the booth. So Mike went out. I will link his channel down below so that you guys can go watch that. But he did all the big panels, and that's what we were doing, you know, earlier this morning and throughout the weekend, was watching those to be able to get caught up, to be able to talk to you guys about it today. So Mikey Poo, thank you for going out and doing that.
Yeah, Mikey.
You're a good little brother. Sometimes.
But yeah, their booth, you guys, I'm so sad I did not get over there. You know what?
Pretty.
The 4 of us should have just taken a picture.
We should have done it.
Like,
right
I was waiting. We were waiting for like some other people in particular, but like it didn't happen. But it's okay. It's fine. It's okay.
It was a stunning booth.
We will get our picture. it just probably won't be. It's not going to be at that booth. But
It's okay. We'll get a good one, though.
We will get that picture this year.
But it was
Just
really
saying, I think some really cool
because
things will happen in this
we
picture.
we gotta keep putting
keep
it
that
down.
tradition
We gotta
going.
keep that tradition.
Oh yeah,
going right there.
We're looking at a specific picture that we're not going to talk about because it'll give stuff away. So no, we're going to keep that tradition going.
But we're gonna keep it. But beautiful booth.
aesthetically, it was gorgeous.
The
Beautiful
vampire
booth.
brides
The
that they had
vampires,
working
the
looked
gothic
gorgeous.
What?
Flowers.
There's vampire brides?
Yeah,
There were
three.
3 vampire brides.
What?
Yeah.
Woman!
Where was I?
The only reason that I know is because I saw pictures already, like that people had been posting at the booth, and I'm like, where the fuck did they come from?
They literally looked like really, really pretty Van Helsing brides.
Yeah, they did.
And they
were
had
cool.
like their dresses had trains that went all
They were
the
like
way
a
towards
gray,
the
like a
entrance.
not gray, silver, like
It's
a silver.
white, and gray.
It was really cool.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
It was really pretty.
I also didn't walk over.
We walked past it the one time, but it was empty.
Was
They
it?
weren't in
I'm
there.
only telling you based off of what I saw
Oh my
on
God.
Instagram.
No, okay, because I mean,
I didn't see them in there.
I didn't even see it on Instagram. I gotta look. I've been in a booth.
Yep.
It's because I do all of your
We
social
had our
media.
heads.
I've been in a 10 by 10. Yeah, but I
Buried.
do scan. You know what? I have not been to work, my normal job, for like 5
So you haven't
days.
sat on break
So
and
I haven't
scrolled.
sat on break and scrolled through.
Yeah.
That's
You'll
probably
see
what
it.
I'm gonna do tomorrow.
You'll see
but
it.
like,
You'll see it for sure.
Yeah.
But I think the Knott's booth aesthetically was just absolutely gorgeous. And for them to do that, to begin the celebration of the 50th anniversary,
Mm-hmm.
and to be like, yes, we are gold now.
Yeah, they started it strong.
Yeah.
Starting at Midsummer now. Let's
And it was a nice
keep it
photo
moving.
op
Yeah,
area, too.
it was beautiful.
yeah.
You know, and again, to give props to all the other events that were there,
Mm-hmm.
you everyone has cool booths. But
Everybody's
this
stunning.
one-
Everybody is.
It
This
was.
one was like postable, you know? You want to put this picture up.
Right.
Because everything in the background
Mm-hmm.
is fitting what honestly most of us were dressed as. We were all, you know, looking very nice to begin with.
Yeah.
It was just a very pleasing but still gothic and spooky and
Yeah.
haunted looking.
Yeah,
booth that
I
they
thought
had
it
set
was.
up.
I thought it was very Victorian Gothic.
It
like-
gave me
like,
Lore of the Vampire.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
it took me
I was
back
gonna say
to
Crimson
that
Peak, it looked like
maze.
Crimson Peak.
Yeah,
hands
it
down.
took me back to that aesthetic, and you can never go wrong with that. That maze was always stunning too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I agree.
I loved it. I loved every second. So
In terms of the panel, I'm just going to go right out here and make a quote of what Ken Park said in terms of when he was talking about him writing The Hanging. He ended it with saying, we put a big RIP and then the pandemic hit, so who knows? And if you would like to have me read this really quick.
and then someone screamed out, "Bring it back!"
Mm-hmm.
And his response to that was, "Sounds like a good idea. I'm 10 out of 10. I am 10 out of 10
I'm putting
saying
money that it's coming back.
they're bringing it back."
I'm putting money down saying that they're bringing The Hanging back. Let me read you what it says on the official Not Scary Farm website. It says, there's a lot of alliteration and hard words that they put in here. Hold on. What are you looking at?
nothing.
Okay.
Oh, I thought there was like a hair on her face right here.
Okay.
There's not.
On the official website, it says 4 hair-raising shows. These one-of-a-kind shows will captivate souls who seek an exhilarating experience that will haunt their nightmares long after the moon sets. With new spectacles and returning favorites for this special anniversary year, you'll be entertained to death.
Returning favorites?
Yes.
Oh, 10 out. I'm 100% they have to be bringing it back. If they didn't bring back some of the most iconic things for the 50th, I would be shocked. And I think they're going to be bringing back a couple of things.
I think based off of what Ken Park said, his response to that, I don't want to say heckler, it was just someone that shouted out, like, bring it back! And he's
Yeah.
like, sure, I don't know. And then what they have written down on the official website, I would put my money towards The Hanging coming back in
agree.
some capacity.
Yeah, I
I
was
agree
like,
with that.
Don't know. How they're going to do it, no idea. I just think that that's what they're going to do.
I don't think they can do it like the past, but I think they can do it well in some sort of hybrid capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. The next thing that I wrote down from the panel was the RFID lanterns that they are going to be bringing out.
These lanterns. Everybody walking out with a lantern. I just
Yeah,
started cracking
giving them
up because it just became like this, like,
the
They
running
were
joke.
all passing him off to Ken Park.
They
That
were.
poor man had like 5 in his
He had 5
hands by the
lanterns.
end of the panel.
But did you notice some people had yellow lanterns,
Green,
some
one
people
was
had
green.
green,
And one was purple.
One was
one
purple.
purple?
One purple.
Or was
I
I,
did
just
not
seeing
know.
shit
Well,
because everything else was
It
purple?
doesn't
I
matter.
could have been
even
seeing
if
shit.
even it was or wasn't. Forsaken Lake's main color is purple.
I know for sure there was a green one, 100%.
I
and
saw
then
that.
yellow.
And then there was a white one, no?
There's like the regular lantern.
Yeah,
Like,
just a
it's
regular.
My
color.
one thing, like, that is going to be the coolest thing. It immediately was like Pirates, you know, in Dead, whichever one, the third one,
Dead Man's Chest.
or at World's End, when you see all of the souls being ferried in and all of that, and they all have the lanterns hanging at the boat. That's just what I visualize as people walking through. Especially Ghost Town, just watching them walk through with all those lanterns, and I'm like, that's going to be so fucking spooky. Just to see it, but
Can you imagine?
if anybody swings on a monster with those things, that is my only concern, is that you are giving guests something to swing on the monsters with.
Welcome back to
That I
Infected.
hope, that I hope they don't do it.
Swing at us with a lantern. It is now my lantern.
That is correct.
I will take the lantern. I will
A
put the
lantern
lantern in my haunt box. It will be my lantern.
And guess what you did? Spent money to give monsters a gift.
Yeah,
Thank
I was
you
like,
in
I will
advance.
take the lantern.
Lanterns are the new shoes.
But I'm gonna I'm
you know,
looking
you know.
I'm like picturing what you're saying now about everybody coming through, and I'm gonna tell you we're
It's
all
gonna be
just
so cool.
we're all just gonna stand there and not stare and not scare anybody. We're gonna be like,
It's so pretty.
wow.
Like, you're gonna see Ghost Town and be like,
We're just not gonna do our
especially because
job.
Ghost Town is so dark. The only thing that is
It
as dark as
is.
Ghost Town is CS. Usually,
Yeah.
and even then they kind of have a little more lighting than we do, but I'm like, it's gonna look really freaking
Really
cool having
Yeah.
people walking through.
Imagine that.
I need every guest to buy like one per person in your party
Yeah.
because I need that to look the way I see it in my head.
Right?
Thank you.
imagine
And we
that?
need to
Here,
just all
let me-
freeze and
Let me set the scene. Let me set the scene. Okay, so let's say it's like a Wednesday or Thursday because we have Wednesdays this year.
We do.
Okay, it's dark, so it's mid-October,
And
like
you just
right
say,
when Rope Top happens.
Welcome to Not Scary Farm.
Oh my god, the announcement outside. Imagine this. Imagine Rope Drop is over and we're starting to do our laps and it's a little bit less chaotic because it's not a weekend, but it's dark outside. And you have all the guests rolling through the fog with those lanterns, and then you have the green lightning hitting that at the same time because that's the curse. Just, amazing. I can't wait.
I think that is one of the coolest things I've seen Knott's come up with in a while. Like, I'm so freaking excited to see what that looks like and what the interactive stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm stoked. I know there's a giant
I know.
spider, which is not it for me, so
Yeah.
if they put that shit in Ghost Town, you are
we're
not
going that
catching
way.
my ass anywhere in the vicinity because I will be dead.
That will
And I
not
can't be dead because
of our laps.
my character does not do that thing. It is that thing.
You
It's,
do the die.
we're
You
not
do
doing
die.
that.
it's just gonna be like
And I'd be like, stupid hell pigeon.
Okay, so just to reconfirm with both of you fucking morons over here, it is an upcharge, correct?
Yes.
it has to be.
I would
They're not
assume
giving
so.
those
Holy
for
shit.
free.
Right.
No way.
I don't know if you're trying
Well,
to
it was
get
part of the
mind.
merch thing, so they
Yeah.
have to be selling it.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna think that they're not gonna give you some for free, and then you're gonna break it, and then give it back.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
assuming it's an upcharge. Someone said, I don't remember who said it, that there will be over 100 interactions throughout the park, and I'm assuming that includes mazes.
I believe that was the moderator. Who was that?
Ted?
Ted. And then Ken Parks came out and said, was it Ken Parks or Plague that came out and said there will be 5 major ones?
It was whoever was at the end, I don't know, but yes, there will be 5. I wrote it down. There will be 5 other interactive areas throughout the park. So I'm assuming that'll be in the zones.
I would assume so.
5 zones, 5
probably something
interactions.
big. So that spider thing that they put up is probably one of the big things that they were talking about.
Please put that somewhere else. Like, put that in CS
It
or
fits in Ghost
Forsaken.
Town.
It doesn't, though.
It does.
You know where
a
I
giant
think it fits?
spider.
I think it
There's
fits on
cobwebs
Mine Ride?
everywhere.
Yes.
Go put it by Mine Ride.
I do
Yeah,
think
okay.
it fits in Mine Ride, but I think it also
Okay.
fits in Bigfoot Trail.
Where are we gonna put it? Where are you gonna
Along
put
the
it?
trail. Put it over by the damn cougar is instead.
Where?
Boom.
Just get it the fuck away from me and I'm stoked.
If
So
you walk out and it's there, we're just all gonna be like, "Yep."
If I walk out and it's there, I'm going to be like,
I quit.
Do you 80% know it's gonna be there? Like you have this. I have this.
I
Feeling.
have a fucking feeling
I have
in
this
my
feeling.
bones that it's going to be nowhere near my person because I will be elsewhere the whole fucking season.
I would like to quote something that Rachel said, and we had Rachel on last time. Better a lantern than a phone light.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
True.
She did say that at the convention this weekend, and I think that is
I think
100%.
It's the best way to describe it.
Because it won't break the ambiance. It doesn't break it for the other guests or putting it in the monsters' faces, and it's controlled lighting.
Yeah, it's a soft light.
It's a
right.
soft light.
It's controlled.
And it's not something that is so blinding where it's now a danger to us.
Right. And we're in, like, 90% of us wear contact lenses. We already can't fucking
We can't see anyways.
And then a shock of light like that to where it's only your freaking pupil that's exposed to lighting now is not cool.
Yeah.
And we're not yelling at you for shits and giggles. It hurts, dude. Like...
Yeah. And I think, because, I mean, they sold lanterns during Christmas time.
They did.
So, in about a couple years back,
they were little.
Yeah, they were little lanterns. They sold them,
cute,
and they would react to the music.
They would do the snow moments.
Oh, so they already had this technology set.
Yeah, well, they had they had the technology for a while. They had this technology when we had the skeleton keys and we went through Predator and Prey.
Oh, that's
so
right.
it would go off. Yeah, the one in camp.
Oh shoot! And then Trick or Treat lights out.
So
that's right. They even talked about that. You're right.
Then they released it to the guests, going like, okay, like let's go ahead and purchase this, and you'll have something happen. It's kind of the same concept of when Disney had the ears, and they had they would react to certain things, and you could also buy paintbrushes and change and control those ears. So that technology has been out for a while, and I think like it is now mostly perfected to the point where we can have these moments and utilize and like confidently say that it's going to work.
I'm so excited. I think out of everything Knott has said so far, I think I'm the most excited for that. The merch is really cool too, but I'm really like on a
I'm gonna buy one.
Interactive basis with it will bring a little more cohesion to guest and monster interaction. I feel like having these lanterns in a way that maybe isn't so aggressive. You know what I mean?
As long as we don't get hit with it.
Yes. Exactly, where it's not like getting in their face, or if something else happens, or it will. I think it's going to be really cool. Yeah. I hope it's going to be as cool as I'm picturing it in my head.
I think, honestly, 95% of the time it will be.
Cool.
I think
hope so too.
Like, yes, there is a risk that we have at the place of work that we have.
Right. Regardless.
That comes with the territory. We're kind of already expecting stuff like that. So I think a majority of the people that are going to be probably shelling out the money for these are going to want those types of interactions.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
They're going to be the people that are fans and that are going to enjoy what everyone is bringing.
To offer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we have all of this, I would like to just throw it out there. Okay? I throw stuff out sometimes. Never really happens.
Like in the trash?
Or? In the universe.
Okay, go.
You're off my podcast.
Alright, I gotta go.
Take home. This hat, whatever this is, and leave. No,
vodka.
It is. It's my martini glass, but it makes a dog.
Okay, I was like, is that a clown or a dog?
It's definitely not a clown.
It's definitely not a clown.
I know.
On my head.
Anyways, throwing this out here. I want, at one point, Knotts to do what other areas have done, and I know this runs into some issues, but upscare charges. Do you know what an upscare charge is?
It's where you buy like a pendant and it glows or something like that, and if you have the red pendant on, you can fuck with them more.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They have signed a waiver that you can you can take them, you put them in a certain area. Mazes have like different.
It's like a skeleton key, but more
intense.
Yes,
a little more intense.
I want that as a monster. I want that.
Yeah, like they'll like if you go through a maze and the monster sees it, like they'll open up a door and grab the person and close it, and then they'll like.
Didn't you have that at Dark Horizons, and you got thrown in prison for like 5 minutes?
I didn't get thrown in prison, but I got stopped. So Dark Horizon in Orlando, there was no upscare they just
Or they
didn't
just
have
sucked.
anything to do because there
mind.
wasn't that many people there. But there are other haunts out on the East Coast and the Midwest that have upscares where you have agreed, you sign the thing when you buy it that you have agreed that the monsters can
touch
now touch you, take you into certain areas, and they're not gonna mistreat you like
It's not like they're gonna
horrifically
beat the crap out of you.
No, they're not. But it's gonna be, you're gonna be thrown down into a thing and you're gonna be interrogated by monsters, or you're gonna have to go through a really weird area with one and then
trust the process
and then get pushed out the other side, and you're gonna be taken away from your group. So there are these upscares that are going on. Now, I don't know if a theme park environment would do it because of liabilities, but I think if you had people sign,
if they're signing
So,
a waiver, you are no longer
would
liable.
You consider
Yeah.
trapped to be at the level that you think would be
yes, because
acceptable?
they had to sign a waiver. That was an extra charge, and they went in, and I know a lot of people enjoyed Trap. It was,
They did.
a
I remember
lot
it
of
being
people
very
enjoyed
popular.
it.
So here's where I'm like, I'm on the same page with you guys. I think it would be really cool to have something like that, but that breaks my rule of why I have sometimes a problem with that at haunts. Not for me personally, but just in general, is if you can't scare them without touching them, you're doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of 17th Door, but if it's done correctly, and yes, you can pull someone to an area and then do the interaction and chuck them out the other side.
Right.
Like you said,
And that's
trust
what
the
it is. Yeah.
Trust the process. We're not there to beat the shit out of you.
No.
We're just providing that upscare, and then, you're separated
It's
from
like
your group.
immersing them into a moment of like almost a film quality experience,
Yes.
where it's like,
Exactly.
ooh, when you watch horror movies, oh, I wonder what it would be like to be in that situation. You're giving them like a split second of it and then throwing their ass
Now,
back
I
out.
just, I know
There
some of my
was a haunt.
coworkers,
Well, that's the other
and
thing.
I would have only certain monsters be allowed.
Yeah, I agree.
That would be my one
Correct.
caveat,
Yes.
is only certain people
There
are allowed to
was
do
an
it.
event that they did at Griffith Park pre-COVID.
The Great
I-
Horror
yeah,
Camp
it's the
out?
Great Horror Camp
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
Yeah.
they would
And
straight up
that's what
kidnap
it.
you.
Yeah, they would. But you signed the waiver, and there were different tiers.
Yes.
There was the lowest
was
one
the
where they
weenie
couldn't
tier.
come near you,
Yes.
your campsite, and then there was the highest one where if your ass fell asleep, they were dragging you out of your fucking tent.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they could.
And locking your ass
And
up.
they
Yeah.
had you until the event was over the next morning.
Yes.
Like
They had
you,
you
if
until,
you
like,
got
7
caught
a.m.
and you had the opportunity to get up and walk around the park, but again, if they caught you, you're foobarred.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
they could bag you over the head, and they took you
In a
And-
van.
In a
Yeah, they
van, like
drove
it
you
was
away,
like the
yeah.
whole thing. But obviously, that's far more extreme than what we're talking about. But I feel like if you could give certain scare actors the ability, like the
Signed
responsible ones,
off.
and then their
Yes.
signed waivers that releases all liability, I think it would be really cool. I don't know that Knotts would do it. I would love to see them do it though, because it would elevate it just that bit more.
I think what could be a hybrid of it, and thinking in a corporate world that I have
Remember,
been in.
this is just what we want, guys.
This
isn't what's
is
happening.
not
Yeah,
what's
no.
happening at all. But
We're being fans.
we're totally being nerds right now. Like, what has happened is they have had the skeleton keys.
Right.
Knott's has done that. What if you didn't know when the skeleton key was going to happen?
And it just happened.
And it just happened.
I think that, and you put it in scare zones, not just mazes.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you gave everyone the opportunity to do it, I think that would be cool. And if you picked specific scare actors out on streets with times, like fluctuating time periods, so there was always someone out or multiple people out who had the capacity to do it, that would be really fucking cool.
That's really freaking cool. That's a great idea.
I'm just saying. Anybody listening to this?
Get it together, Knots!
But
I mean, they're getting it together.
I mean, they have
but
it together, but
yeah,
that would be cool.
But you saying that also, I think, would alleviate a possible problem if you made the event quote-unquote scarier in that way. It would maybe take care of the whole reason why we have a chaperone policy. Because that now appeals to an older demographic who is mature enough to handle something like that. Because you know for a fact, teenagers would be like, oh, I'm super tough, and then you actually go to scare them and they run away like little bitches.
Either that or the parents who won't pay the extra fee for that specific encounter.
Mm-hmm.
And you
know
could
what I mean,
have
though? Like
yeah.
it would lend itself to a quote more mature event than it already is.
And you could have multiple, like So obviously if a bunch of people bought it and you don't know when it's going to happen, that could be a problem where, you know, you run into a fact where you're like, well, I didn't get to experience that, or I didn't experience it at all. But you could have like 3 different things that could happen within a maze. So if the first group gets taken or first person gets taken, there's another opportunity for another group down the line
Right.
to get taken if they come through.
And it'll always be something different.
It'll be something different, and it adds repeatability of coming
agree.
back to the park.
Which we have always talked about. You need to be able to do it multiple times and still have a different experience.
I agree with that.
Having 4
wholeheartedly.
different experience, or, you know, and maybe if you want to make them the scare zones, then you do have those ones, or those random ones.
We have
where you
beacons in Ghost
yeah. So you do have random ones where you can queue up. So say here's how you get past it.
The VIP maze.
Yeah, VIP maze. You have ones where on the outside where you can queue up. Where they did that with Zozo. They did that with the other ones where you queued up, so you could absolutely go into that and experience something for your money. But the ones in the mazes were random. So you may experience it, you may not.
Which already, right there, you're creating a sense of dread. You don't know if it's going to happen.
Right.
And
you don't know when it's going to happen.
especially for annual pass holders, it's another, which from a business standpoint, it's another way to get them to spend more money after having purchased the pass. Because if they don't get the one experience, or they get the one and then they know that there are 2 more, the likelihood that they're coming back multiple times is already guaranteed. You bought the pass. And then it's damn near a guarantee that they're going to spend the money 3 separate times to get that extra activity for every place it exists.
Do you guys want to know where my mind just went? You know how people do those challenges where like, we're going to try to have the perfect day at this place. Can you imagine, just from a vlogging standpoint or an influencer standpoint, to try to, if this was even
A thing.
to try to have a perfect night, to have every interaction go off?
You won't be able to.
I know that. But that, again, it lends itself to free marketing.
Yeah. They wouldn't, you know, your influencers and like you said, your YouTubers wouldn't come just the first night or the first weekend. They would keep coming back because somebody would.
One night you're just going to do the mazes. One night you're just going to sit in the scare zones.
Yep.
And the next time you're gonna do the upcharge.
And what if you go through every single maze and you just don't get that experience and you only get the outside ones? You know, you're gonna have to keep trying.
Just saying, this
It would be
kind of a
cool.
really
I mean,
good
it would
idea.
be really cool.
That's interesting, because we have always kind of been like, yeah, upcharges would be cool. And again, it does break my rule of if you have to touch them to scare them, you're doing it wrong. But if you do it correctly in a non-abusive way, I think it could be really cool.
It could be amazing. Yeah.
And again, me saying that is not bagging on people that do upscares. It's just really not something that I typically enjoy, like 17th Door. It's not my jam. It's just not. And that's okay. I think if I went back now, a little bit older and more mature and have a bit more mental fortitude than I did when I first went, it would be more fun. I just have to get over that mental block of mine. But how many people walk out of 17th Door saying that's the best thing I've ever done?
But it was fun, yeah. But they like that.
They had a fun time.
Yeah.
Or like what you were talking about the other day when you went, when you're sitting in the electric chair room and you are choosing, and then it tells you via laser who you chose, and now your friends are mad at you.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
You didn't know that? So
No.
when you hit the button, when it finally reveals who gets shocked, whoever chose you, their laser goes on to you.
So you know.
So you know exactly who chose you.
Oh, so they're creating problems over
Yeah,
the 17 door, huh? Destroying friendships one at a time.
Honestly. So continuing on with Knotts, so that's the lanterns. We got onto a huge tangent with that.
We did.
Those lanterns are going to be dope.
Sorry.
I am not sorry. It's going to be really cool.
I also think RFID technology, going back to it real quick, there are so many things you can do. There are so many things you can do with it, and it's very easy to do. I can't wait to go as a guest.
Yeah.
Because
I'm going to be spending my money doing the lantern upcharge.
I'm gonna be like running around with the camera going like, lantern. On my one day off.
our one day off, we're just no more scare actors, just lantern
Just
stuff.
lanterns.
Ted is releasing his 50th anniversary edition of his book, The History of Knott's Scary Farm. It is going to be updated from his 40th version, which was the History of Halloween Haunt, now that he changed the name of it, he also will be doing book signings on certain nights. And I think that they made him say that it is only
Exclusive.
available at Knott's.
Or on the website.
Or on the Knott's
Knott's
Marketplace.
Yep.
Yes. So get that.
And it's limited edition. That's the
limited
one.
edition. Did I write that down? Yes, I did. Limited edition, only sold at Knott's and on the online marketplace. So there you go. He will be doing book signings at the new, what is it called? Legacy Haunt Store and Museum Immersive Retail Experience at the Emporium.
That's a mouthful.
Fucking mouthful. You guys want to talk about that for a second?
What?
We barely touched on it in the beginning. The Legacy store that they're doing at the Emporium. Everyone was speculating why they were emptying out the Emporium all summer long, why everything's 75% off. And they're like, well, it's attached to Waxworks. Maybe they're expanding Waxworks. Maybe they're doing something for Haunt. Well, it turns out they are doing something for Haunt. It will be open to the public during the daytime through the front, and at night you will be able to go in through the back.
Yeah, which I think is going to be really cool. But other than the renderings and what's going to be, like they said, they were going to have a few photo ops in there and then kind of walk you through the more popular pieces from different attractions and stuff that have existed over the years. They really didn't
They didn't say
much about it. They
Yeah.
kind of stayed tight-lipped about what exactly is going to be in it, which is cool.
So it says an immersive retail experience at the Emporium. Do you
So
guys
there's-
think that that just means photo ops?
Yeah, it's gonna be photo ops. They showed the staircase from Trick or Treat. They're gonna be you're just gonna be able to sit there and do
I
that.
thought I saw the
And they're the dark ride guy.
not one of the I don't think it was the facade, but something from Shadowlands. It looked like in one of the
I
renderings.
think
something.
they also had something from Doll Factory. I want to say I think I saw something, or it was either that.
there
Would-
might
Topless,
there
it had
might
something
have
with tears
thing
and
they
cogs
might
on it.
have stuff going off like every now and then, like things. But
do
I
you think
think
that that's what they mean by immersive retail
Yeah.
experience? Like it's just photo
Yes.
ops. It's not anyone costumed running around going.
No.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do anyone in costume, but I know it's supposed to be like throughout the years, obviously, plus the photo ops and then all the retail stuff that they're doing because the merchandise was pretty dope.
and is this
too.
gonna be like this gonna be forever?
I don't know. Why would they empty out the whole thing though?
Yeah, well because it's the
It's
50th,
also a
but
museum. It's
Okay.
retail and a museum. So like the old Haunt Museum that used to be where City Hall
Yeah.
is, it's that.
but the old Haunt Museum I think was only there at Scary Farm, and then they would empty it out.
Yeah.
It wasn't though.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was.
year round.
No, it wasn't.
Lies.
Nope.
I think it was year round.
I think there were a couple of years that it was there year round, but I don't think it was year round the whole time.
Right.
I don't think it was there the whole time. There were maybe like 2 years that I could swear it was there during the day. But I don't even fucking know if I remember that properly.
I know that's why the number 73 or 1973 is on City Hall because of that Haunt Museum. But I don't know if it was year round.
Do you remember when we first saw that? I was like 1970. Oh,
Yeah.
it's because it used to be the Haunt Museum.
But I hope it's year round. It reminds me exactly of like the Orlando Horror Nights like tribute stores that they have, and they're really ornate.
cool.
But since this is Scary Farm, I'm like even more stoked, and I think that because Not Scary Farm is the original, is the one that started it for theme parks, to put it in theme parks. I'm not gonna say it's the original haunt of any kind because obviously East Coast has been doing
Hay rides and stuff.
hay
for a
rides
long
and
time.
things for a long time, but in 1973 Knott started it for theme parks to go, hey, we can market this in our thing. People want to do this. It started all. So why wouldn't you have something there 365 days of the year, to legacy that?
Commemorate
Like
it,
this
yeah.
is where it started
And
for theme parks.
Do you think, in your heart of hearts, that a majority of Knott's Berry Farm fans are Haunt fans?
Absolutely.
Do you think a good chunk of that comes from that?
I think it's a very local park, and I think people who have grown up in the area have done Not Scary Farm since they were a kid. I talked to somebody a person at Midsummer Scream this year that was like, I've been going since I was 2, and he's 53 now.
Oh shit.
So he's been going since I think he said the second year. I think his parents took him the second year, and he's been going ever since. And then he decided to get into Queen Mary Dark Harbor and stuff. But
wow,
it was, but that's incredible to have, locals basically go like, we grew up with this.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up with Knott's Scary Farm, and like, why wouldn't we have a legacy store?
Yeah,
to where it started all for theme parks.
I mean, I hope that they keep it for their, as Karl said, 21 new shirt designs.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I love
he was
Karl.
so amped.
Let's talk about Karl. I think everyone
Karl's
wants to be
amazing.
Karl's friend.
We do. I was so excited. I love anything that anybody is passionate about and they have that much enthusiasm for.
Yep.
I'm stoked. I just feed off that energy.
He made it, like, yes.
He made it so fun.
But he made it so fun for everyone. Like, the crowd was hyped every single time he announced or brought up on the screen whatever weird design that he made.
Yeah.
With all
cockroaches.
Of his yes, he loves his cockroaches.
If you had just been like, and these are some of the t-shirts, that would find, we would have been like, okay, well, that's cool. But he's all like, look at this! Look at this! He's like, my 50 pins! I give you 100, but now we have 50, and they're limited edition. You want the pin, you see the pin, you get the pin. Like, I was like, yeah.
And he's all, we love our coffee cups. And
I
I'm
know.
like, we do! You're right!
That cauldron coffee cup.
Dude, that tiki mug.
The tiki
Oh my
mug.
God.
Catch me fighting somebody for that thing, because it's going to sell out. Like, it's going to sell
We're
out.
gonna
The one
go.
Last year's
too.
did too, but this one is really cool.
We
Didn't
have
we go
last
in
year's. We went in specifically for
we
the
went
mug.
on Friday after
Yeah.
Haunt started and was like, we need the mug right now. And we
Yeah.
also went on Calico Candy Mountain.
We bought everything we wanted, but I specifically bought that mug. It's probably going to be $50 because that's what it was last year.
Yeah, either that or more.
But the fact of the matter is that, like, last year's they had some of the characters from each scare zone, which was cool. But this year it has the grimoire. It has a skeleton. It has everything that's
it has like a dagger going
yeah,
down the
dagger
side
going
with the candles. It just looks...
It pulls everything together that's
Do you
going
know what
on.
I thought it was the first time I saw it come on screen without me listening or reading that said Tiki Mug? I thought they were bookends.
That would have still been
Also
cool.
would have been
Really
cool.
I still would have been like decoration for my room. Yes,
I know.
absolutely.
So 21 new shirts.
I will buy some books
I
for
would
these
buy some books
bookends.
for these bookends.
Badass Tiki Mugs.
Yeah.
Are they selling witch hats?
Yes.
It's a replica of Sarah Marshall's original witch hat.
Yes, and her cursed
Which,
I'm gonna
why
get it.
are you doing that?
I'm gonna get it.
I have questions.
I'm gonna get it. I need the witch hat.
So, like, hear me out here for a second. All of your lanterns coming through the fog with everyone wearing witch hats.
That would be so cool.
With their tiki mugs.
With their tiki bug and their
like
gold cockroach
and their
pins.
cockroach. All their gold cockroach pins.
Ultimate fan.
I
Oh
would
my
buy
god.
one. I'm gonna be honest. I would buy one of those hats.
Should
Just
we-
on the picture alone,
Yeah.
it looked really
It
cool.
was really pretty.
It looked like it was gonna be. You know how you see those witch hats and they look like they're like Spirit Halloween bullshit witch hats? It looks like it's a heavy duty, proper witch hat.
Yes.
So I really hope that that's what it is when you pick it up, because it looked really fucking cool
There goes
in the
all
photo.
my
Like,
money.
I'm stoked to see it.
The 50 pins, including the golden cockroach, which I need, comes with a coffin pin board.
And they only showed 20 of them, he said? They didn't roll
Yes,
through all
they didn't
50.
roll through.
And the 20 that they showed, there were like 7 or 8 of them for sure that I was like, oh, I'd get that. I'd get that one.
Yeah.
That's cool. I saw Doll Factory up there for one of the
Yes.
pins, so I was like, yeah,
Hi,
immediately,
Rylee.
yes, hi, baby.
Hi, Rylees.
Hi. Can you
Not
scoot so
Scary
Mama can...
Farm
Nope.
Monopoly.
Scaropoly? You good?
With Elvira on it. That was a big selling point.
He's like, is Elvira on it?
You bet!
you bet your ass she is.
Like, it's just so
Okay, does your
crazy.
mom not have anywhere to sit anymore?
It's fine.
No. The dog has joined us. She's very pleased with herself.
Just kicking
You
you.
just have to yell now. Here, I'll just give you this.
No, I'm good.
Scream.
I shall scream.
And then after the merch part of the panel, they started talking about Sinister Seymour, who was the original.
Yes, he was the original host of
Host
Not
of the
Scary
event,
Farm
yes.
73 and 74.
They even brought, so his real name was Larry Vincent. They brought his daughters on stage to talk about
Which
their
was
dad,
really
to
cool.
talk about their dad. And then they announced a new character inspired by the sinister side of Seymour, and he is known as the Keeper.
Yes.
So...
And they said that he is going to be a host for one of the attractions or something. What did they say? Was it an attraction or a ride or like a voiceover? Like, are they going to have him in the park? Or?
I think he's going to be a voiceover.
He watches over the past haunts and keeps them locked up and confined.
So he's Keeper of Knowledge.
Yes.
He's the Keeper of History of Not Scary Farm.
Yes.
That's cool. So they must have him doing voiceovers for something that has to do with like the past
Do you think
attractions.
he's going to be a walk around, or is he going to be part of the RIP tour? Not the RIP tour, the very important monster tour.
I mean,
what are they going to use him for?
Any of that could be cool.
Costume.
Honestly, any of it could be really cool. I think whatever they use him for is going to be really cool.
It's going to be entertainment wise. I think he is entertainment. He is not Scary Farm talent. Like us monsters.
So he's not going to be like
he
the
is
conductor.
Not going to be with us. I can guarantee you. I was talking to somebody yesterday and they're like, he's not going to be with us. I'm like, no, he is not one of us. He is...
Like, not in a mean way. He's higher than us.
Yeah, like, he is higher than us.
He's better than us.
Yeah. Like, when I'm saying he's not going to be in the trenches with us, he's not going to be scaring out on Ghost Town. He's not.
Yeah.
No.
No.
He is part of something, and he is going to be entertainment, whether it's on a stage, whether, like, I don't know.
It'll be exciting. Wherever they put the voice or the person, if they have him, is going to be cool. I'm excited to see, regardless. It's a cool character, and it's history that they based it off of, so that's even cooler.
This man is an amazing character actor. You guys recognize him from Haunted Hayride. He was Monty Revolta over there for a while. He saved 2020 for Haunted Hayride.
Yeah, he really did.
Haunted
Hayride.
I really enjoyed meeting him. He was still in full makeup, but he is a very nice person to, outside of his character.
He has an awesome stage presence.
Yes.
He was very fun to watch.
Yes, absolutely.
He does his craft well.
He is very entertaining to watch.
And I think as people who, all three of us sitting here, including the dog, really appreciate good character work, he's going to be a lot of fun to just even have eyes on for a couple minutes in whatever capacity that he's doing. Now I'm hoping, fingers crossed, whatever they're announcing on the 24th, we're going to find out more. I'm sure he'll be there.
He absolutely
hosting the
will
whole
be.
goddamn thing.
I hope he's...
Oh, that would be fucking cool.
I hope
it was his voice that was doing the whole, like...
It was.
On the 24th.
It was. That would be cool.
I hope they, like, lock off everybody and hold it, and he's just standing in the middle of Ghost Town. Just, like when the fog clears, that'd be sick.
That would be really cool.
That would be fucking
cool. Or he's up on something talking or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I mean...
Whatever they have in store.
It's going to be fun. I'm excited. Ma'am?
Right.
It's fine.
So... Anything else about Not Scary Farm, guys? Any takeaways that you have other than we really want lanterns, we all gotta get witch hats, we all gotta get golden cockroach pins. Yes.
Golden
t-shirts.
Golden cockroach. I don't know if I'm gonna get any of the t-shirts. I'm just not like a huge t-shirt person.
That dark t-shirt with all of the different logos.
Oh, the dark logos with just the Not Scary Farm.
With the patch on it?
Yeah.
That was the one cool shirt that I was like,
Yeah, that was the one because
it was so and it was very clean.
Yeah,
it was just
subtle.
Yeah,
and I like that. It was very cool.
I think that's the only one I'll get.
Like the 50th logo one, I was like, oh, it looks like Goosebumps.
Yeah,
it really looked like Goosebumps.
I'll get that. We'll get obviously the witch hat. Obviously the tiki mug. Obviously, I love cups.
I love cups.
I'm gonna get cups, and we have no room for cups.
I need to take a picture of her. Yeah, I think that's it for...
Scary.
Oh, wait, hold on. There was one more thing that everyone went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs about, and I do think it's worth mentioning really fast. I have to find it. John Cook and Ted Doherty are back helping design a maze.
Yeah. It should be beautiful.
That's all I have for
that.
Yes,
given their track records,
it will be lovely.
Yeah, I have no doubt that it's not going to be a good
Origins, maze. Paranormal, Dark Ride, Shadowlands.
Yep,
it's going to be awesome. Whatever they've got their hands on, it's going to be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's it for Knotts for right now. So sorry if you guys didn't get the announcement event tickets. They did say if you did get a ticket, you are allowed to bring cameras. but they will also be live streaming it. Knott's confirmed on their Instagram in the comments that they will be live streaming the event. So if you are not able to go, you can still, at a bare minimum, watch it.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
That is cool.
Real quick, let's touch on Horror Nights. We're just going to talk about the couple things that they announced. We'll go into more depth for when Mike is here. Biat, Monstros? I don't actually...
Dude,
Monstros?
Monstros.
Yeah, Monstros.
Monstros?
So that's one of the original houses that they announced, where they're going to have 3 Latin American, basically cryptids and monsters in that house tormenting people. And you're giving me
so
that. You're giving me
excited.
this right now.
I'm so excited for that. Anything that ever has to do with any kind of cultural background that's being pushed to the forefront, especially in horror, because every culture has
Monsters?
something.
Yeah.
I think is the coolest shit ever, and I'm stoked. And the renderings that they had of these characters are so fucking beautiful. And I've said it before, you cannot touch Universal when it comes to movie quality, like aesthetics. So I'm expecting so much from this. Like, I'm so excited.
Man, Latin monsters
They're fucking
can't
scary,
can't
dude.
touch. Don't have anything on. I mean, like Latin monsters, like American monsters got nothing on Latin monsters.
No. I think
Latin,
if you're gonna go with like really scary monsters, Japanese and Latin America.
Latin America, those monster stories and those legends are specifically told to children.
Yep.
Here in America, we try to like coddle, shield our children from like any like boogeyman or like monster thing.
I agree with you. Anything that touches on culture, especially because we do live in Southern California, it lends itself so seamlessly.
It really does.
I mean, that is what, half of our population are Latin American or Hispanic,
I
or
think
what
it
have
is
you. It's going to
incredibly
be so
smart
cool.
of them also from a business standpoint to really lean into it, because it is such a rich culture, and you're educating people on a culture they otherwise probably wouldn't fucking care to look into if they're not a part of it, which is I love it so much, because I love learning about different cultures. Being Armenian, like, you should know about the people that you're walking next to every day. I think that's freaking cool, but bringing that into horror, because there are so many cool things that you could fucking use, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is brilliant.
And they have a good track record. They brought back La Llorona last year, which was terrifying.
Yeah,
And
the
they have-
first year they
done-
had it, they ran me into a fucking wall.
Yeah.
And then they've also done El Cocoy and had narration by Danny Trejo. It was never at an event year that we went, but I do know that we had it here in LA.
Got it.
But besides the point,
Yeah.
there already is a history of the event doing this, so why not perfect it?
Right.
Which is what they're doing. They also have the new Scare Zone, which was hold on, need to pull it up. El Terror de las Momias.
Dude, the way they were explaining that
the
was
mummies.
freaking gold.
And how they kept making like movie posters of
Horrible, like,
the
movies that flopped.
Yes, the flopped mummy movies. And then they had the Mummy Queen, and then it was just the Undead Town. Now it's like the mummies versus the Undead Queen versus the Undead Town, or what have you.
And this guy's making this
Yeah,
up.
he was making like a multiverse with these fake.
That's what
movies.
Rylee thinks about it.
And then that's what the Scare Zone's going to be. So it's going to be like that cheesy B horror, B movie horror.
I love that.
On top of it still being cultural
And
having,
beautiful.
and beautiful,
Because those costumes
oh my God,
looked
can you imagine?
freaking amazing.
If anyone here has been to Alvera Street during
Yes.
Dia de los Muertos, it is one of the most beautiful celebrations you will ever see. You are in LA already. They're gonna do such a good job.
Yep.
This is something that I think we're all very excited about. Another thing here at the table, we're gonna hop the pond really quick. This was already announced, but they did the behind the maze, and they gave the history. Universal Monsters Unmasked, where we will be going to Paris. You are very excited, yes?
I'm so
stoked.
excited.
The second the picture of the catacombs popped up, you were like,
When I saw that, I was all like, that is my bucket list, like, to get to the Paris catacombs. So to be
And
able
not
to
get lost?
No,
And
I'm
not
following the tour guide because I know I will get lost. I
Your ass is
can't
not coming
even
back from
turn
there.
right when I'm supposed to.
That is true. I have witnessed.
Yeah.
I have witnessed.
So
Added 5 minutes to our trip to Yosemite.
How
because
dare you?
we-
5 whole minutes.
I know, but I'm all like, sorry. So yeah, I'll be following a tour guide, but to actually just go into them even fake, like to experience all this in this underground club that they're talking about, and to have Dr. Jekyll, the Invisible Man, Hunchback of Notre Dame,
and the true
Phantom
story
the
of
Opera.
Hunchback of Notre
Yeah,
Dame, where
having the-
Esmeralda doesn't live,
Not
like
the
the
romanticized.
real
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, this isn't the Disney versions.
Right.
These are the actual books and the actual stories that were originally written by the original authors. So I'm stoked about it. I almost thought about, as soon as he said Esmeralda actually does, because I guess I'd never thought about it. I was all like, I need to figure out if this book's on Audible. I need to actually like read The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, I wonder if they have.
They probably have
narrated
the
version.
classics. They have to.
Well, that
But-
too, like, to go off on like a mini tangent, I think it's really funny that all of these romanticized fairy tales, like Hunchback of Notre Dame and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, or like Sleeping Beauty, like the way that Disney has romanticized films is wild to me, because all of the original stories were so horrific and graphic that I'm like, well, you guys really just flipped the script on this. You worked really
It's
hard to make
borderline
this
not
cute.
even the same story.
No, not
Right.
even.
But
But
he took the names and we're like, okay.
So for them to be doing this and base it off of like the nitty gritty because it's supposed to be like in horror is really, really fucking cool.
It is. I like it, and the places that you're going to visit inside this maze are actual places that actually existed at once, even if they're torn down now.
Yep.
So it's going to be really cool to see at least the fake version.
Yep.
You know?
I mean, for right now, that's as close as we're going to get until we go to Europe.
Yeah.
The SoCal version of the catacombs.
Yes.
Of Putty. One more thing that they announced at this panel was there were a lot of people, I guess, on Twitter or online that were saying, hey, we kind of missed out on seeing the Bride of Frankenstein because during COVID we had to have masks and she was covered. So can we see her? And he said, yeah, but you have to find her. So
Yes,
we don't
she's
know
there.
where the Bride of Frankenstein is going to be at this event, but she is going to be somewhere.
And they did do a time lapse of them putting her in the makeup so that people can actually kind of see what she looked like without,
And back to what you were
which
saying,
was really cool.
it is very, very hard to hold a candle to the makeup and prosthetics that Universal Studios can do.
I mean, they have the entire industry at their disposal, essentially. Not right now, but they do have a lot at their disposal, and you really can't fuck with them when it comes to their sets, their props, their makeup.
That burn
They
scar
have
on the
that.
side of her face looked real.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
But they also still made her very pretty.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, she's stunning.
So I'm very excited to actually see her this time and see her in her full glory. I'm very excited for the cultural aspect. But again, we'll talk more about Horror Nights when Mike is back. I think that's it for right meow.
It is.
Meow.
Do you guys want to do any last minute things?
Uh,
What character secret can you reveal this time?
what character?
Dun dun dun.
Rylee was all, whoa.
What? What are we talking
She
about?
just like she just whipped her head around and looked at me like, "What are you gonna tell
She
her?"
hasn't seen you in a whole 12 hours.
I know, it's horrible.
I love you too, Mom.
What character secret can I reveal? I think I revealed a lot, but there's been some workings about the story that we're not sure which way it's gonna go. We're not sure what his fate will be. Will he be taken by Sarah Marshall? Or will he become a hand of death
Who knows?
to be called upon whenever they seem fit?
So forever
I'm gonna
cursed
tell you right
or
now,
forever cursed.
The angel's gonna fight like hell because, you know.
Is it though? Because like being under the hand of the angel of death, even if he is just called upon when needed, he's still like free to do whatever he wants to do
Would that
until
Would
he's
he-
called.
But would he be called upon and needed, or would the angel just take him and let his soul rest? Why are you shaking your head? Because your character's upset with their husband.
My character is very mad at their husband right now. And I'm like,
Do you want to spend eternity having to look at his face, being pissed off at him?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay, well, we can talk about it
I
and
don't
figure
know.
it
We'll
out.
talk about that
But
later.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think for you, your character's development in that way is gonna be a lot of fucking fun this year. I
I'm
think.
still sitting here going, I cannot wait to see you absolutely go batshit.
Batshit?
Out of your mind.
Oh, it's
Because I think
prepared.
we've only seen spurts of like crazy zoomy Diego,
Yeah,
but adding rage on top of that,
it's
I cannot wait.
it's rage. He would get ragey. I would just prowl. My head would be down. My arms are out, just going, just hitting slides like left and right. There's no rhyme or reason to anything on him, and then I would like just chill.
But that right there, unpredictability, is what makes what we do possible. That is what scares people, is they think that they know exactly what you're going to do. And you hear it. You hear people go like, oh, don't do that. They're going to get you. And you walk right past them, and then the person behind you gets them,
Yeah.
and they scream.
Yeah, it's the
It's the formula. It is the formula on how this works.
So we'll see. He's caught between the whole point of
A hard place and a hard place right now.
hard place and a hard place. He doesn't want to live the way he is, but who knows? Who knows? He's doomed.
Now you're doomed. What about the angel? What about the hell pigeon?
Oh my god, the hell pigeon. This is not anything that anybody will ever see, but I just think it's really funny because it has been the forefront of conversation between you and I, Jackie. The angel has like a final form.
Fuck you.
A final form
You
that
did that on purpose.
nobody will ever see
Mom.
except for Lyra, because the angel has Lyra's soul. So Lyra resides with the angel, and Lyra's the only one that ever gets to see her final form because she only has that form when she is not collecting souls, when she is in her stagnant place.
It's just your mom.
No, it's not.
It's just your
It's
mother.
your mother.
It's just your mother who told me what to do this weekend. How dare.
How good.
I don't know if I have any secrets. Help me.
Not yet.
It's still a character that
not
hasn't even
yet.
been revealed. Like I
Yeah,
can't I can't tell you guys a
can't
lot.
say anything yet.
All
or
I
it
can
will
say
give
is I
stuff
got
away.
stuff approved for costuming. That's really all I can say. Other than I'm like killing every cat that I can find.
No.
I mean, I think
That's-
one thing that
Kill
you can
the other
say.
cat.
No, I'm killing all the cats. Every single cat.
Every
Other
single cat.
All the cats.
You fucked up a little bit.
I didn't though.
You
I was
did.
tricked. So beef.
Well,
Beef.
you beef with you beef. It's not me. The
Yes,
one
mother.
thing that you can say probably about your character is that there's
There's some
going to be a
changes.
constant battle.
Yes.
That is the one thing that doesn't give anything away.
Yeah,
that there
no,
will
it
be
doesn't.
a constant battle with your current character.
Yeah. Yeah, there will be a constant battle, and I think it's going to... How do I put this? How do I word this correctly? Where I think playing the wolf, I think I've said this before, had a lot of moments of playfulness, and she could be very sweet or funny. That's dead. That is gone. So it's more of the ripped apart type of being and having that battle inside. Yeah, that I can't say.
You
a
can't.
lot. I fucking
You can't.
can't say shit.
You really can't.
Sorry,
We'll
guys.
reveal more.
Honestly, opening night, y'all have seen everything. So
Oh, yeah.
That's true. And then, if you guys do a podcast after that, you can talk about it.
we
Yeah,
have
we'll
to.
reconvene.
Here's what's gonna happen, guys. With everything that we have ever said, any speculating that we've ever done, anything that was revealed at panels, anything that wasn't revealed at panels, all will be known on opening night for both Horror Nights and for Not Scary Farm. So
And to us as well, we talk and we say what would be cool and what wouldn't and all of that, but we don't actually know what management is doing or what the production team is doing or what they're coming up with. We aren't told shit.
Nope.
So we don't know.
It's kind of
We're
better that
guessing
way.
as much as you guys are guessing, and it's just as fun for us to try and figure out what the hell they're cooking up.
Because again, it goes right back to what we were saying earlier, fans first. And sometimes it is fun to be like, ooh, I wonder what they're going to do. Yeah, what are they
Yeah.
going to do? What if
For
they
sure.
did this? Wouldn't this be a cool idea? And then, maybe 8 years down the road, it happens. Because the industry is constantly evolving. we cannot be the only people with ideas like this, and I'm
Right.
sure that the team has probably already talked about stuff that we've talked about today, but
We just don't know.
we're really excited for lanterns. We like
I'm stoked.
lights in this house. We're light people.
I like people.
We do like lights.
I mean, I'm
We
not
love
like,
lights.
I don't live in this house, but I am also like people.
You're here enough where you practically live here, and that's okay. We like you here.
So in conclusion, we all like lights, and we all love Karl.
Karl,
Team
you-
Karl.
Team Karl,
Karl.
you gave us life. Thank you for bringing that burst of adrenaline and energy into the show. And I mean, the panel was good to begin with, and it was very insightful. But having someone, again, like you guys said earlier, that is passionate about what they do, go onto stage and make everyone else be infected with that passion. Everyone that came back to the booth afterwards was like the merch dude.
Yep.
Karl was amazing. Karl may have snorted coke before going on stage, but it was really fun to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you're entertained and you're excited about something, that's really all that matters.
Karl and Maria. You know what? I don't know who Maria is, but she is an unsung hero because
Yeah.
apparently she has black lights all over her office and we don't know why.
Yeah.
Maria,
But
Karl,
we love you, Maria.
Maybe I need to make a sticker this year that says, Karl and Maria, whoever you are, we love you.
We love you. Or just like a black light at the top that says Karl plus Maria.
In blacklight writing.
In black light writing. And that is it, with like fog or smoke or something around it. And that is the sticker.
This is actually a really good idea.
And then give it to him. We need to find him. Karl, we need to find you.
Where are you, Karl?
We must
please.
present you with Karl.
Karl.
Maria,
Yeah.
bring a black light.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done. That's been Never Points North number 6. We'll be back to talk about more stuff later.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.